What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Sean from Premier Outdoor Living, and in this video we're going to be talking about the top 5 things that you want to think about when you're planning your backyard makeover. Make sure you hit subscribe. Let's get into it. The first thing that you want to think about is space. How big or small of a yard do you have? How much of that area do you want taken up with your new outdoor living space? Initially, a lot of clients think that they want to eliminate all grass so that they don't have any maintenance, but if you have kids or pets, you're probably gonna want a little bit more grass than you initially think, so keep that in mind. The next thing about space is checking with your municipality to see what zoning restrictions you might have in your backyard that you don't even know about. To check on your zoning requirements, a lot of times you'll be able to look at your property survey. You can look at that and determine what your setbacks are, and that's gonna be how far off of your property line do you have to go before you're allowed to build. Every township is different, but you're definitely gonna wanna figure that out before you start to eliminate any issues down the line if you ever go to sell your home and you didn't get a permit when you started this project. Okay, we've talked about space. Number 2, layout and design. This is where things really get important when you're planning your backyard. The number one thing that I like to tell people when they start thinking about layout and design is think in rooms. A lot of people start without a really good idea of how they're gonna go about the design and the layout of their space. So if you think about it like you would an interior room, think about where you're gonna want a couch, where you're gonna want a fire pit, and think about all of those things and make sure that you're creating space so that you can accommodate everything that you want in your backyard. A really good way to do this is to actually pick out your furniture first. A lot of times people look at that as a very last thing that they do once the space is already designed and built and they see what furniture is gonna fit. Make sure you leave space open for walkways in front of doors and stairs. You don't wanna have furniture backed right up to it. Leave 3 to 4 feet so that people can pass through and you're not gonna have a traffic jam on your hands in your new backyard. The next part can be a little bit intimidating, which is how do you connect all of these different spaces, have them feel separate, but also connected. I find that the easiest way to go about that is keep your shapes simple. You're gonna create a more modern design that fits together and doesn't look too jumbled. Where do I get ideas? I don't know what to do. I don't know where to gain this inspiration for my own backyard. Well, there is a wealth of resources online. I can think of one very particular YouTube channel where you'll get a lot of ideas, but also Pinterest, Instagram. Sometimes it helps to bring all those ideas together into one document so you can kind of get an idea of what your ideal style is gonna be. Number 3, it's right in the middle, but it might be the most important one. Budget. How much is this backyard gonna cost me? If budget was no object, a lot of us would have really, really sick backyards, but unfortunately that's not the case. You're gonna have to weigh out some options with budget when you're making decisions. Easiest way to cut back on cost is to just reduce overall square footage of your spaces. That's when it really gets important to nail down your layout and make sure that you don't have a bunch of wasted space there, because that's just more money going out the window that you might not really need. A useful thing to think about when you're going through this budget conversation with yourself or your family is this your forever home? Are you planning on selling in the next 5 to 10 years? That's gonna impact a lot of the decisions. If you're thinking you might sell in the near future, you're gonna wanna maximize the amount of resale value that you're getting out of this investment. So in that case, you might use slightly cheaper materials, have overall square footages that are larger, and that's gonna give you more bang for your buck when you go to resell. You might wanna cut back a little bit on some of the crazy features that you put in because those won't get you as much on resale. An often overlooked portion of the budget talk is ongoing maintenance. If you go with a smaller investment initially with, say, a wood deck, it's gonna be cheaper now, but every year you're gonna have to stain and seal it. So that's something to really consider. Are you the type of person that wants to do that every year, or do you wanna do it once, make a little bit of a larger investment, and forget about maintenance down the line? The budget conversation leads perfectly into our next topic, number 4, DIY or pro. This is going to have a huge effect on your budget, whether you do it yourself or you hire a professional. There's a lot of pros and cons to both options. If you hire a professional, you're more likely to get the job done right in a quicker time period, but you're gonna spend more money. If you do it yourself, you're gonna spend less money, but you're gonna invest a lot more time into this project. and trust me, it will take longer than you expect. Do you have the tools that you need for this project? Will you have to buy some? Will you need to rent them? Factor all of those into a cost analysis of whether or not it's worth it to actually do yourself, because those costs can add up really quickly. If you decide hiring a professional is a better route for you, make sure that you're doing proper vetting of your contractor. It's always a good idea to make sure that they have some sort of online presence, or you can get a review from a friend or a family member that has used that person. If you have problems down the line, you can call them. It's not going to be completely on you, but that's only if you hire the right one. If you decide that you want to get after this yourself and DIY your backyard project, there are a ton of resources out there. Google and YouTube are gonna be your best friends. That is how I have learned a ton of what we do, and now I'm implementing it and we're doing videos on the same stuff. So there's a lot out there that you can learn from. And remember, you can do anything that you set your mind to, so have that determination. The project will turn out great and you'll get a unique sense of satisfaction that you can't get from hiring a contractor. So far, we've gone over space, layout and design, budget, DIY or pro, and the fifth thing that you're gonna wanna consider is what can you do to add those extra touches to really make it pop. Number one, lighting. I see a lot of backyards that don't have adequate landscape lighting, and 90% of the time that you're using your outdoor living space, it's gonna be in the evening or at night, so you wanna make sure that you invest in adequate landscape lighting. Make sure you set aside a portion of the budget so that you can do that. It always can be added later, but trust me, you're gonna want it from day one. It's one of the most important things, I think, in any design of a backyard. Also commonly overlooked is landscaping. It helps the structures feel like they're anchored into the backyard instead of just sitting on top of grass. Make sure you leave room in your budget to do some landscaping, and you can go to a local nursery, see what plants are gonna be right for your area and which ones are gonna be right for the amount of maintenance that you wanna do. One way that we love to put that extra flair on our projects are inlays. We do deck inlays, we do patio inlays, and this is where you can really get creative with your design and take it from a normal patio or deck to something really, really incredible. This is gonna be a little bit more advanced, so don't bite off more than you can chew. A well-designed space without an inlay is still gonna be better than a poorly designed space with a crazy inlay. So it's not super necessary to have one, but if you're feeling up for it and you're a creative type of person, try to go for an inlay. It'll take it to the next level. Lastly, you can add privacy walls and other vertical elements to your outdoor space. It gives the whole design a little bit more dimension. It makes it more interesting to look at. And a lot of times you can really use that privacy if you're close to your neighbors and you want a little bit more privacy when you're up on your deck or on your patio. You don't want to feel like you're in your neighbor's backyard. You want to feel like you're in your own little intimate, cozy space. Is that it? Okay. So those are the top 5 things that you're gonna wanna consider when you're starting to plan your backyard makeover. You can check out a lot of our other videos for some inspiration or some tips. So if you're new here, make sure you hit subscribe. If you're already subscribed, thank you. And until next time, this is Premier Outdoor Living.